I used to think, and possibly I still do, that it's important as a Christian to have some visible vices, to have some things which obviously demonstrate that you haven't totally got your act together, so that you don't become, I don't know, self-righteous and judgmental and all those sorts of things. The problem with that philosophy, though, is I tended to collect too many visible vices, that is. But one of my most prominent ones used to be smoking. For many years, I was the only person working at Rhema Media who smoked. I don't say that as a badge of honour. But I finally managed to kick the dirty habit, basically by living in England for a period of time where I didn't know anyone else that smoked and the weather was absolutely awful. And I thought, well, this isn't helping anything. But somebody else who has, kicked at least that dirty habit, John Cowan, joining us on the program.
Oh, yes, I've got plenty of more habits that I'm still working on. But yeah, I thought I didn't realise that you'd resonate with the topic that I sent through to you. But yeah.
And honestly, the cough has nearly gone. But I mean, to be fair, you know, it's obvious now that it was a stupid idea to start smoking, but back in the day when you and I both started smoking, or you a little bit ahead of me, but it was a cool thing to do. This is what the cool kids did. We all smoked, right?
But it's interesting. I mean, I had two friends who were heroin addicts. You know, if you really want to get into destroy your life, that's a good way to go. But they managed to quit. And heroic amount of effort and self-control and everything, but both of them remain totally addicted to nicotine.
Wow.
And say, it's the big one. It's harder. All my family smoked, all my parents and my all four older siblings, and it was what grown-ups did back in the day.
Yeah.
Our home rang to the happy sound of smokers' coughs and hoiking. That's what people did in my culture anyway. And so as a kid, of course, I wanted to be like a grown up, and I sort of started by smoking anything combustible that I could roll up in paper, and usually stick it in the end of a bit of bamboo. And pear leaves were almost acceptable. Wood shavings and iron filings, that was particularly nasty. That did leave a bit
I've heard Tanikaha is quite good, actually.
Yeah.
But don't try this at home, people. Don't take the advice of us.
and then I of course graduated just nicking them from my parents' packets and hoping they didn't notice. And before I could buy my own, and I did actually start off as of quite a promising career as a devoted smoker, but I actually cut down on smoking because I moved in amongst a group of friends who didn't. But every so often the urge would bite, and so I would sneak off and buy a packet and puff, 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 puff. And that continued right up until as my dad lay dying from cancer. And I promised myself I'd never smoke again.
Yeah.
And I never have. And so my last puff was back in 1987. And I think my lungs have just about forgiven me. Yeah. But here's the thing, and I don't know if you find this, there's still times I would love a smoke. But I just have to ride it out and think, no, this will only last for about 20 seconds. Nicotine's claws go very deep, and they're very reluctant to let go.
Yeah, definitely.
And I sometimes thought, what is it that was actually attractive about smoking? I don't think it actually ever did make me look cool. I was still a nerd. I was just a nerd with a bad habit. And I don't think, despite what the ads said, I don't think I like the taste of tobacco. And does it really give you a buzz? It might have at first, though. I think that buzz was actually, I don't think it was a buzz. It was more like wanting to be violently ill.
Yeah, it was a bit of that. Although I did find, though, giving up smoking in reverse, that my body had just got so used to it, it didn't know what to do when it didn't have nicotine in the system. That I suppose I'd got used to that as my new normal. And my brain didn't function for a while after I gave up smoking. Some would say it still isn't functioning particularly well. But I don't think the nicotine helped my brain to function. I think it became a sort of a dependency for me.
That's right. If it ever did anything good, it soon becomes you just have to smoke to stop feeling bad, because you do feel bad when you stop. And if you're a smoker and you're trying to stop, you have my sympathy. It's a hard job, and you'll feel terrible for a while before you ever start to feel better.
Yeah.
What I have heard in nicotine's defense, and this is not meant to be in any way an advocacy for smoking, but I have heard it in its defense, is that it helps you face the intolerable. Sir Walter Raleigh smoked as he was on his way to have his head chopped off at the scaffold. And this sort of led to, I guess, the tradition of you give a condemned man his last cigarette as he faces the firing squad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting, if you in both World War One and World War Two, when they were supplying soldiers at the front, getting tobacco to the troops was almost as big a priority as getting them food and ammunition.
Wow.
A smoke before the battle to steady your nerves. American soldiers actually had cigarettes in every one of their ration packs.
Mm-hmm.
12 cigarettes a day,
Wow.
just given out to them whether they wanted them or not. And so, that's they actually really did believe this helps you face the terrible things. Now, if it actually did that, if it helps you face hard things, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
It might help you face the fact that you're going to live 10 years less than a non-smoker on average. All my parents and all my older siblings are all long dead,
mm-hmm.
and smoking, I'm sure, hastened that process, as well as coughing and being less fit. So maybe smoking helps you face that grim future. It also depletes your bank account and makes your house stink. That is, if it doesn't burn your house down and gives you one of the worst addictions and cravings you are. But so I don't think in the balance of benefits, that ability to face the intolerable really equals the downside of that.
Yeah.
So I have to now face I have to tolerate my intolerable situations without any chemical soothing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I actually step in and be my own nicotine. Now that sounds a bit odd.
Yeah.
But I actually do tell myself often, you can do this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I felt like yesterday, I was out cycling in the rain and I was riding along and I was going up a hill and I was thinking, I just want to quit. I want to call my wife and come and rescue me. And I thought, no, it's only a hill. Yeah. It's only water. You can do this.
Mm-hmm.
And so I hunkered down and did it. It's, when I'm wanting to be bored, when I'm wanting to quit a job or task that I'm doing, I just say, hey, it's only work.
Yeah.
And that's when I have to tell myself often, hey, this is only work.
Mm.
And I'm thinking, would I have to start doing my accounts at the end of the month? I hate doing that. You can do this.
Yeah.
So I have to be my own nicotine. I have to draw into my lungs a bit of my own self-inspiration. When I'm trying to lose a bit of weight and I'm feeling like I really want to go to the refrigerator, I tell myself, it's only hunger. Yeah. Actually, that's a very valuable one when I've been trying to lose weight. It's only hunger. You know what this is. You can tolerate it. It's only hunger. So, so that's my tip. Be your own nicotine, unless it makes you cough.
Yeah.
By the way, I really need a cup of coffee.
Yes, all for the visible vices, John. And hey, if it's not one thing, it's the other. And
yes.
I like your idea that that cycling is perhaps the new smoking. Cycling is the new nicotine. I just don't want to risk getting addicted to cycling, so I'm going to quit before I even try that one.
Before you ever try it.
Just in case I get addicted to the process of cycling.
Quite addictive.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for your encouragement and your wisdom as always, John. Thanks for being part of the program today.
Cheers. Nice talking to you.